Hello everyone, this is Gopika Singh, E19CSE168 of Bennett University, and today I'll talk about my topic RFID and security. The landscape of Internet of Things has been evolving at an increasing rate over the recent years. With the ease of availability of mobile devices, there has been a tremendous leap in technology associated with it. Thus, the need for efficient intercommunication among these devices arises. To ensure that IoT is seamlessly integrated into the daily life of people, using appropriate technology is essential. One of the important associated technologies with IoT is RFID. RFID proves to be a simpler and efficient technology to implement IoT at various levels. Now let's understand what is RFID. RFID stands for Radio Frequency Identification. Radio frequency identification uses electromagnetic fields to automatically identify and track tags attached to objects. An RFID system consists of a tiny radio transponder, a radio receiver, and a transmitter. RFID is a technology less heard of when compared to other technologies, but is very useful in IoT. RFID tags are used in IoT and are either embedded or tagged onto devices. RFID is mostly used in supply chain management to keep track of goods being transported and sold, but now it has found a better use and it's preferred over other technologies in IoT since it is way cheaper and uses much less energy. Now let's see what are the various types of RFID tags. Mainly, there are two types of RFID tags, active RFID tag and passive RFID tag. On the current screen, we can see the two types of RFID tag circuits. On the left hand side, it is active RFID tag. We can see why it is active because it has its own battery. On the right hand side, it is passive RFID tag. This is because it does not have its own battery. Active RFID tags. Now let's understand what are active RFID tags. Active RFID tags are very costly compared to passive RFID tags and they need to be powered by an external source to operate. As we saw in the previous page, an active RFID tag circuit was the one which had its own battery attached to it. But these active RFID tags provide a much larger read range and a larger storage capacity, and they can also broadcast their own signal. Passive RFID tags. Passive RFID tag systems use tags with no internal power source and instead are powered by an electromagnetic energy transmitted from an RFID reader. Passive RFID tags are very cheap compared to active RFID tags. They run on energy transmitted by the RFID reader and work within a shorter range as compared to active RFID tags. Passive RFID tags are used for applications such as access control, file tracking, race timing, supply chain management, smart labels, and much more. The lower price point per tag makes employing RFID tag systems economical for many industries. These passive RFID tags can be classified into three broad categories, and these three categories differ mainly based on their different ranges. Low frequency tags. Low frequency tags work within a range of 30 cm or less. This frequency is typically used with animal tracking because it is not affected much by water or metal. Next is high frequency tags or near field communication. High-frequency tags work within a maximum range of 1.5 meters. This frequency is used with data transmissions, access control applications, DVD kiosks, and passport security applications that do not require a long read range. Then comes the third category, which is ultra high frequency tags. Ultra high frequency tags is a short, high energy wavelength of about 1 meter, which translates to a long read range. Passive UHF tags can be read from an average distance of 5 to 6 meters, but larger UHF tags can achieve up to 15 plus meters of read range in ideal conditions. This frequency is typically used with race timing, IT asset tracking, file tracking, and laundry management, as all these applications typically need more than a half meter of read range. Now let's see what are the various applications of RFID. RFID dates back to the 1940s, however, it was used more frequently in the 1970s. For a long time, the high cost of tags and readers prohibited widespread of commercial use. As hardware costs have decreased, RFID adoption has also increased. Some common use for RFID applications include pet and livestock tracking, inventory management, asset tracking and equipment tracking, inventory control, cargo and supply chain logistics, vehicle tracking, customer service and loss control, improved visibility and distribution in supply chain, access control and security situations, shipping, healthcare, manufacturing, retail sales, tap and go credit card payments, and RFID systems are also used in library management. Now let's look at what are the drawbacks and security issues associated with RFID tags. The problem with RFID tags is that they have very limited storage space. This makes it difficult to implement full-fledged security protocols onto such RFID tags. One solution though is to increase the storage capacity of the tags. The solution may seem easy, but it is not feasible, since increasing storage capacity would also mean increasing the amount of power given to these tags. Just like other wireless technology, RFID has quite a few security and privacy risks for both manufacturers and customers. An RFID system has to be as secure as possible considering all the security risks. Maintaining user privacy is a major concern when RFID is a part of IoT, but it should be clear that it is practically impossible to maintain a perfectly secure system. Once this is understood, it is possible to list down all the security and privacy concerns of a given RFID system. For the public to accept an RFID-based Internet of Things technology, strong technical and operational, along with strong security and privacy solutions should be in place. A number of security issues have been identified. These security issues have been given as follows. Number 1 is jamming. Jamming is a process of paralyzing the air between an RFID reader and a tag, thereby preventing the communication between the reader and the tag. Since the communication medium is air, it is very simple to disrupt it. An attacker generates radio noise at the same frequency as that was used by RFID system, and that in turn prevents communication within the system. Next is eavesdropping. Eavesdropping is an attack where an attacker uses a fake reader to get information being passed between the original RFID reader and the tag. Most RFID readers and tags are simple, non-encrypted text communication based because of their limited storage and capabilities. This makes it easier for the attacker to retrieve information easily using a fake reader. This information can be used to manipulate data and also replay attacks. The fake reader has to communicate at the same frequency as that of the original reader in order to get some information. Replay attacks. Replay attacks are those attacks where an attacker eavesdrops on a particular RFID system, records the detail being sent to and from the reader and the sender, and then replicates the data being passed to act as either the original reader or the tag. Next is deactivation. This is an attack in which the attacker makes the RFID system useless by sending either delete or kill commands to the tag. This will either make the reader unable to identify the tag or even detect the presence of the tag even though it is in the range. Detaching the tag. In this type of attack, the tagged items can be switched with another item, making the reader think that it is the same original item. Next is spoofing. In spoofing, the attacker tries to understand the security protocol used in a particular RFID system. With this information, the attacker writes the received data with the same format to blank RFID tags. This is called duplication of tags. This can be used to change information that isn't validated by the reader, like price of an item. Man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack or MIMT attack is an attack wherein the attacker places a fake reader between the original reader and the tag. The fake reader receives the fake information from the original reader, and the tag respectively manipulates the information and sends it back to the original tag and the reader respectively. All this is done during the transmission of data and is therefore a real-time attack. Cloning. In cloning, the information of an original tag is copied to a blank new chip to replicate it. Cloning is generally categorized with spoofing, but cloning and spoofing are not the same. Spoofing emulates the tag data being transmitted, while cloning copies the data onto the new tag owned by the attacker.